I'm Hope Lynes. I'm here today at the Student Music Network and I'm here today interviewing Softcult. Now, let's start by defining your music for people who probably haven't heard you before. Your Twitter bio says music for Molgoths, which I think is just a long time coming. I used to see that Molgoth phrase kicking about on TikTok a while ago, and I think it's really neat that you've kind of incorporated that into your music. So, is that how you define your music?
Yeah, it's fun. It started as like kind of a joke, we would say that, but I think mall goth thing is like an aesthetic, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's sort of like when you're thinking about what our music would look like maybe as a person.
When I can get bothered to get ready, it's kind of that. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like we're very influenced by the 90s, so we love, grunge, shoegaze, dream pop, and I'd imagine that maybe someone, a mall goth, might be listening to that in their headphones while they're, you know, chilling at the mall.
And you're currently on tour with Destroy Boys, Pink Shift, two of like my favorite kind of feminist punk bands on the scene at the moment. How does it feel to be like through touring with them, kind of in that kind of new wave of kind of feminist punk energy that's coming through? How does that feel?
Oh yeah, it was amazing, honestly. Like, yeah, I guess it's like our first time being on a tour like that, and the vibe was just so good, like right off the bat. All the sets, it was just honestly like really fun watching everyone's set and just getting amped up. Yeah, and it's just great to be on a tour that's got so much representation, and it's just like the energy of the, people that came out to the shows was just so infectious, and they were really kind to us as like the opening band and just really like enthusiastic, and I could tell that everybody who was there was feeling this vibe too. So I hope that more tours like that happen more often because it was a really cool thing to be a part of for sure.
Awesome. And I kind of feel like it's a very from the outlook, I didn't get to go, but it seemed like a very like DIY kind of um female focused kind of tour,
Mhm.
and that kind of DIY feminist energy, it seems like that's something that's kind of in what you do. And I saw that you make your own zine on a month, which is like so cool that you're incorporating that into your music. Can you tell us a little bit about your zine? Is it called Scripture?
Yeah, that's
Is it
it.
still going?
Yeah, we're still going. We're making, what is it, the 22nd issue or
I think
21st
so.
issue?
Yeah, I think it's been like 22 issues, or it's gonna be 22 issues soon. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been going for what,
Almost 2 years.
almost 2 years
Yeah.
now. And yeah, it's really cool. Like obviously a lot of bands before us were kind of like involved in zine culture. And yeah, when we started kind of like getting into it ourselves, it felt like a really cool way for us to kind of talk about things that we talk about in our songs, but in a bit more in depth way. And then, yeah, also it's just really fun to make visual art. I guess that's like another extension kind of what we do. So it's fun
Mhm.
to get to collab on that and just like,
And it feels like a community kind of experience too, because sometimes people will send their art or their poetry or
Awesome.
whatever they want to send in. So it's a cool way to kind of get to know our fan base as
mm,
well and let them have a platform to put their art out there. Um, and yeah, I think that's what drew us to the whole concept of making zines in the beginning, was just being super influenced by the Riot Girl movement and stuff like that, and trying to bring it back a little bit.
I'm a big fan in bringing it back, but bringing it back in like what century are we in now? We're in the 21st century, aren't we?
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah.
confused. I'm like, are we in 22nd? But I feel like some of the Riot Girl, it was very in the 90s, and I feel like a lot of the feminist punk music today is a lot more kind of inclusive and also very more creative. Like the people are very entwined with fashion and art as you are, and I think it's very important to have kind of your music entwined in that creative passion as well, kind of thing.
Definitely. And yet it is important to maybe learn from the past as well, like you said. So, Riot Girl was like this important movement in the 90s, but of course there were some issues with the movement as well. And that one of our issues with it is it's not intersectional enough or it's not inclusive enough. And I think, you know,
the new incarnation of it now with like maybe the fourth wave feminists, it's a little bit more educating for everybody and allowing everybody to feel like they're a part of it and to contribute. And yeah, I'm proud of that for sure.
Awesome. And I'm so glad to hear that. It's great to hear just like positivity coming out of music, and yeah, lots of inspiration about. And coming back to the music, you've just released an album, Year of the Snake, which I think is such a cool title. It's very like, I don't know, I just love that title. I think it's awesome. But we also have new music, One of a Million. Tell us a bit about that track and what that direction means moving on from the new album, which seems like it's just come out and now you've got new music. Like, what's that kind of direction going to tell us?
Well, the new song, you know, is very dreamy, I guess. In Year of the Snake, it was more of our like dark era, I guess. We're going through like some dark subject matter, of course, and then sonically, I think the songs were a little heavier and darker. And we've still got some, you know, sludgy songs coming out for this new EP as well that we're working on, but definitely leaning in a dream pop direction. And so it's like showing maybe a little bit more of a softer side, I guess, at least with this first single.
It's good to explore like all the genres that you kind of can, though, like while still keeping it you. There's so many different inspirations and lanes that you can go down, and it's just kind of making it your own kind of thing.
Sometimes it's hard to pick, you know what I mean? Especially when you love it all, you're just like, I want to.
Nail it's all over the place. Like I couldn't even define one of them. So that's the best thing to have about an album. Just have it all.
Exactly. Yeah, that is a challenge, especially when writing new material. As you're sort of like, you want to keep the thing that makes you you. And makes, you know, for Softcult, what is like, I guess, a recognizable sound of Softcult, but also don't want to be confined by any genres and like sort of push, open those boxes and see what else you're capable of making.
Yeah.
And I think we did that on this new stuff. Like we were definitely experimenting and seeing how far we could push things, but still keeping it true to our sound.
Awesome. That's great. And I feel like a nice point to just like finish off the discussion would be, I saw that you recently supported Incubus at the Royal Albert Hall, which is like such an iconic and monumental venue. And I just wanted to ask, like, you're twin sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did it feel to be like on that such a monumental, iconic stage and just be together as sisters on that stage? How did that feel as like a moment in your band career?
It was really, really special. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously we knew the history of Royal Albert Hall and like how many insane people have played there. And so, yeah, just getting to do 2 nights there. I know, like, for me, on the last night, I stood up like on the drum kit and I kind of was like looking out at the crowd and looking at Sades and just thinking like, wow, like this might be the last time I'm ever, you know, having this view. And it was just really cool. It's like, yeah, I got to experience that with my sibling, and that's just like such a special feeling, obviously.
We're really lucky to be in a band together because I feel like, you know, as you grow up sometimes with your siblings, you grow apart, or you can like, you know, just you're out kind of experiencing your own thing. And with the band, it definitely keeps us together in that way. Like we get to travel together, and these big like highlight moments of our lives, we get to share those moments together. So
That's really beautiful, actually. It's sweet, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and it also makes it so like I feel way less homesick or anything on the road. I'm just very excited, and we always have each other's backs and stuff. So it's just a good time all around.